Welcome into Tennessee Titans Today. I am Tom Downey. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Does Tennessee have a potential late-round gem? We'll break down who that is and why. A potential breakout star this upcoming season. And some discussion on who the most underrated player is on this Titans team. No, it is not Derrick Henry, but you'll see who it is on today's show. But first, we're in a like battle this week with the Houston Texans, who are still mad about the Oilers. Let's stick it to them. We are chilling by just over 300 likes right now. We can get that on this video alone. Every single person watching, like today's video, so we can beat the Texans once again, this time off the field. The hidden gem is per USA Today. They argue Jaelyn Duncan, the Maryland rookie offensive tackle, could end up being a steal for Tennessee this year. Here was the argument. Quote, Duncan is an athletic fluid mover who has the physical traits and nastiness that Mike Vrabel admittedly wants in his offensive linemen. The Maryland product isn't exactly a plug-and-play prospect, but Duncan has tons of tools in the shed to work with. He will likely compete for the swing tackle role right out of the gate, but he's someone who could sneakily push for a starting spot as time passes and he continues to develop. We'll put Duncan at the right tackle spot for the time being. Maybe he has a chance to beat out Nicholas Petit-Frere. I'll look at my scouting report stuff. If you've been watching Chat Sports for a while, you know that I have no life and invest a lot of time into this stuff here. Fourth round grade for me, kind of the mid to late role. Andre Dillard is going to be, I think, your left tackle year one. The athletic traits are absolutely there. The issue is, despite being almost 6'6", 306 pounds, he got beat a lot this year. 7 sacks allowed, 10 flags, by the way. Most of the issues are the hands, that they're all over the place. Now, he's been working with Duke Manyweather, and that's a great player to work or coach to work with because his track record as a private O-line coach is among the best in the NFL. Of course, he's private, not the actual team coach. That doesn't really matter that much there. I also got red flag when he weight jumped to 322 at his pro day. He was 306 at the combine. It's a big jump from that perspective. But even as a 6th-round pick, there will be a chance to see if he can beat out Nicholas Petit-Frere for that right tackle job, potentially asking for too much. Although, it's not like NPF was that great in year one. A little high in the sacks, high in the penalties. As a unit, we all know it, the Titans' offensive line was bad. There's no way around it from what they had out there. It was a bit of a dumpster fire, but they got better. Low bar, I know. They got better this offseason. And Duncan has the athletic traits, whether it's at right tackle or he didn't play much really in college. He was a left tackle at Maryland. Has the athletic traits to be a potential steal. You might have to be more patient than immediately throw him into the fire, but there is upside there. So for week one, who starts at right tackle? JD for Jaelyn Duncan, NPF for Nicholas Petit-Frere. I'm going with NPF, but it's the pinned comment, and I want to hear from you guys. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, head down there. Sound off at the pinned comment of today's show. Let's talk breakouts now. We got a linebacker for Tennessee. Azeez Al-Shaair. The PFF picked one player from every team, and they went with Aziz for Tennessee. He was poached from the Niners this offseason. Part of it wasn't a mass exodus, but some significant players went from the Niners to Tennessee following the Titans' new GM, Ran Carthon, as a part of that. Sign players you like and are familiar with right there. With what Tennessee is at in terms of the typical defensive play caller, I wouldn't be shocked if Aziz is maybe the leader, so to speak, on that defense. I think you have plenty of veterans who are maybe your locker room leaders, but like your defensive captain at linebacker, the signal caller. They could maybe use a safety, which happens more and more these days, but historically linebackers call that in. Would it be Monty Rice or Aziz? I might lead to Aziz there. Here's what PFF wrote. Signing Al-Shaair to a 1-year deal might have been one of the best off-season free agent additions when it comes to value and price. He managed to improve his PFF grade every year with the 49ers, ended up being the 18th highest graded linebacker in the league in 2022. Although he didn't get much on the field behind Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, he impressed during his limited playing time, finishing with the 8th highest run defense grade among linebackers. He's a little bit undersized, 6'2", 228, not the biggest of the throwback linebackers who were, 6'3", 6'4", 250, 260. But the game's changing, and Tennessee is a good front to help keep him clean and run around and make a bunch of tackles. So I have no complaints whatsoever about this as a breakout candidate. Monty Rice, Aziz are probably going to start for you at linebacker, and maybe a Chance Campbell, Luke Gifford, Ben Neiman are your backups there. But Tennessee is banking on him having a big role this year at the off-ball linebacker spot. So who do you think will have a breakout season this year? Is it Azeez Al-Shaair? Is it somebody else altogether? I don't put first-year players in there, but there are some second-year players, one of which we'll talk about here in a little bit that stand out as breakout candidates. But first, if you have not already, please subscribe to us here on YouTube. Wall-to-wall coverage of the Titans all year long. News, rumors, free agency, trades, games, previews, etc. If stuff happens on the Titans, we have you guys covered. So don't miss out. Hit that sub button today for more free Titans videos. Bleacher Report put together their all underrated team for 2023, and they made a great selection at tight end, Chigoziem Okonkwo, as the most underrated Titan. I have no complaints about this, and I think you guys will get on board, especially from a national media perspective. How many times did we see tight end in round 1 or round 2? They took one in the 5th round, but they have a starter in Chigoziem Okonkwo. Here's what BR wrote. Burks got on the spotlight as a potential replacement for Brown, but Chigoziem Okonkwo had a little more production in the passing game, catching 32 passes for 450 yards and 3 scores, compared to Burks' 33 catches for 444 yards and a score. That is right. Okonkwo did outplay Burks. Might change this year. Whether Tannehill finishes the 2020 year under center or yields the spot to rookie second-rounder Will Levis, Okonkwo seems primed for a productive campaign. Keep in mind the Titans cut wideout Robert Woods, who led the team in catches, 53, and receiving yards, 527, in 2020. Now, I think you will see Okonkwo be, at minimum, one of the top 2 targeted players on this team. There just isn't the talent as at the pass-catching unit. Maybe he only finishes 3rd if they force-feed Kyle Phillips or Nick Westbrook-Akina. But I see Burks and Okonkwo, if things go the way Tennessee probably wants them to go, as 2 of the top playmakers on this offense outside of Derrick Henry. Because it's not a great pass-catching unit overall. Maybe even Josh Wiley gets some good run as a tight end 2 in a multiple tight end package. But Chigoziem Okonkwo, if you can find some odds on leading receiver for Tennessee, it's actually a pretty solid bet, given his obvious role last year that should only get bigger this year. So prediction time. Who do you think will lead the Titans in catches this year? Is it Okonkwo? Is it Burks? Is it somebody I slandered earlier? Sound off in the comment section for us right now.